I know everybody's building, whether it's all over on both sides, especially by around Russell's house now, they're moving.
My thing is I wanted to sell anything.
And then when I die, you're gonna have to visit with my kids when I do mine.
Yeah.
So, but this one I was just showing her, 9,500. It's Greenville. For residential, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's residential, yeah. Oh, well.
Are you,
Now I got a picture to the card.
Yeah, and I didn't know, I didn't.
I knew that Phil
Oh,
was
is that what
talking
he's
about
called?
a Schwab.
Interstate, okay.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I knew, oh, what's my card?
For
Still
7, I
always
think
say
you
Schwab,
even said.
Schwab, I didn't know which one.
Now you know.
Let me see. My brother too, Kenny. All the worst stuff we've had.
Okay.
Which at the same time.
Or Sherry instead of Sharon?
Oh, Sharon, I've never called her Sharon. Oh, Sharon, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was supposed to do, so.
And my brother too, they call him Ken, I call him Ken.
Yeah.
So he said, okay.
I'm gonna call her next time Sherry when I.
Or you should tell it when she was little, you used to call her pumpkin, so.
call in a line, phone?
Hello, can you hear us? Okay.
He's our neighbor.
Anybody else on the phone?
I don't know, this is.
Phil can't be
Okay,
there.
good.
Phil
Start, we have a
can't be here, so
quorum. Thank you. Okay, it's 3:00. We'll call the planning and zoning meeting to order. It's September 1st, 2022. And we do have a quorum. The absent though is Deneen Dressler, Sandra Kuntz, John Oderman, and Byron Richard. Present is Carl Todd, Kurt Freilich, Sue Larson, and Susie Zobluk's on the phone. First of all, we have the minutes from July 28, 2022. Is there any corrections or on those?
So move.
A motion approved. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. You're in favor? Okay, thanks. Okay, our first item, item on our agenda today is a public hearing for RZ 11-22 for Philip Wallace is requesting a rezoning from ag to rural residential on a parcel located in the east one half of Lot 1, located in Section 2, Township 140 North, Range 96 West, containing approximately 20 acres. Is there someone here from for the applicant to speak, or? Okay. Could you state your name, then just state what the plan was in?
Hi, my name is Dwayne Schwab. I'm here on behalf of both the buyer and the seller. They are looking to rezone this for to build a house on a farmstead, just be out of city limits, out of town. It's a convenient location for them. It works.
Okay.
I'd be happy to field any questions you may
Okay,
have.
so anybody have any questions for Mr. Schwab? Hearing none, then I'm gonna open up, this is for public hearing, I'm gonna open up the public hearing. Would anybody have anything to say for or against this request for rezoning? Anybody have any comment?
I guess I would,
Okay, step up there and state your name then.
Hello, my name's Nathan Ailes. I'm new to this, so please humor me here a little bit. I live right, I guess, on that corner. That house you see directly north is where I live. I grew up. My parents grew up. I guess I just have a couple general questions. Number one, is this going to be, so this is just a single farmstead, or is this going to be a kind of like a new setup for multiple houses, or I guess,
Just a single-family dwelling is what the application is for. Right?
okay. I guess I know there's a whole little development just another 2 miles east with Cripes. I think there's 3 or 4 open houses there and more openings over there. And I know on 109, it looks like they were putting in new roads for more housing. So I guess I was just, my concerns are that we're going to start putting more housing in there and more people, and we're just going to lose the farmland. And then are those going to be housing units that last? Are they going to be abandoned? Do we need more, I guess, rural housing? I guess the concern for me. I know that just that 2 miles east, there's a couple of buildings there that are housing units, houses. There's a big garage with a house next to it that have been empty for, cripes, I think the better part of 2 years now. I know there's one that some group moved into and kind of tore apart, and then they're just staying abandoned. And it seems like the more abandoned buildings and abandoned houses and stuff like that you get in an area, the more riffraff, the more people that wander in, the more people you have going and kind of messing around in your area. And I'll be the first to admit I'm in Dunn County. I mean, I know I probably don't have the say as the same person in Stark County, but it is a concern. And it's right in that general area. And part of me, I guess, always wonders why we're taking away, pretty good farming land as far as I know, just to I guess put another house so that somebody can live out there maybe, or build it out. And then are we going to build that into just another I guess group of housing, another little.
They'd have to come before us again to get rezoned, but for now, it's just a single-family home that's gonna go in there on the 20 acres that are there.
And if you don't mind me asking, where are they pulling water from and electricity? I mean, Southwest, I guess I don't know where Southwest Water comes from, but I know we had to fight to get hooked onto Southwest Water back in the day, and we've been there for 90 years, I guess, And I'll tell you, 109 is not a good road, that section right in there. And I've lived there for 41 years now. Anytime that it rains or anytime that thing's muddy, that is a mud pit. And I can't imagine that's going to get any better with more people driving on it, more people going over it, and no better maintenance. But I guess that was my big concerns.
Okay.
So
It's fairly close.
Okay.
I appreciate the opportunity to say my piece. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
You're welcome. The applicant, have any comment for his questions or as far as water or electricity or anything like that?
Water is, the owners of the property have granted Southwest Water an easement to run water line across that entire mile of property that they own, and have also applied for hookups and taps from Southwest Water. Consequently, they're under review because they go through this hydraulic study that Southwest Water requires. So we won't know the answer as far as can they hook up to Southwest or not until the hydraulic study is done. And that should be completed next week. But the fact that the owners did give Southwest Water the right to run their lines appears to indicate that they plan on providing water to the whole area. Another comment I'd like to make is you know, on the same side that this gentleman lives on, you know, just down the road was that chemical building that was destroyed by that fire, JCAM. So, I mean, do you want to see industrial property popping up out there, or do you want to see farmsteads that with families? I think most people would prefer to see farmsteads with families. That's just my comments.
Did you answer
Mr.
your
Schwab,
question?
oh, sorry.
Go on, say, did you answer your questions, or you have any other questions, or?
I guess, so,
To the-
okay, and I'm sorry, this is new to me, so if I'm doing something wrong, please.
That's all right, just, we want you so you can
Yep.
record it, so we
Yep.
got it.
Okay, thank you. I guess that does answer my question. So on that 20-acre lot, where's the, if you don't mind me asking, I don't know if I can turn around, but where would the house be going, on the top, on the bottom? And then I know the southwest water that we have piped in from us comes from the east. And right now I can tell that if anybody's pulling water for like watering cattle or something like that, you can see a noticeable decline in our pressure. I'm just thinking if you start adding more to that, it's certainly going to get worse for the people. And don't get me wrong, I don't know lines and capacity or anything like that. But I remember when we hooked onto the east, it was, we were pretty good. But I know there's at least, I know there's at least four or five houses hooked on that as there is right now, but, so,
Okay.
right.
Any other comment from the public?
Just one last comment, and that is if the hydraulic study comes back at the water pressure and the water is insufficient, they're not going to give them a tap. It's just going to be that simple.
Okay.
Then their option, Dwayne, would be to drill their own well.
That's the other option, yes. Thank you, Sue.
Okay.
Carla, did you have a question before?
Yeah, when you had said with the, gave them the water line across, and you had made a comment they were going to put in taps. They're just going to put in the one tap for that place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Schwab, the individual previous to you had indicated a question about, asked if the home, proposed home, living quarters would be on the north side or the south side of that. Do you have any thoughts to that?
Probably on the north side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comment from the public?
No, not
Just
required.
one more time, any other comment from the public? If not, I'm gonna close the public hearing and ask for recommendations from Mr. Joseph, our planner.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. As was said before, this is a request to rezone 20 acres from agricultural to rural residential. Just a couple of things. It's when we look at these, we look at what the development pattern or zoning patterns or patterns of other lots within the area. And I'm going to go ahead and pass this around. This is a map off of the county's GIS parcel map, and found that within a mile of the property that's proposed for rezoning, there are 7 properties that range in size from 5 acres to 30 acres. So there already is and a couple of those 5-acre lots were approved within the last few years, were rezoned within the last few years by the county. So there's already been a pattern within that immediate area of smaller lots being established and having residences on them. So we tend to look at that to see, is there a trend in that area? And it appears that there is. I know that the person from the public spoke, he was concerned about, was this going to be a single family or was this going to be multiple lots? The applicant has been advised that this is just one lot for right now. If they did want to split this up into smaller lots, they would have to come in for a public hearing for a subdivision plat, and that would be noticed, and there's never a guarantee that that's going to happen. So based upon the findings in the staff report, the growth pattern in this area, staff recommends approval, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, the board have any questions for Mr. Joseph?
Steve, I don't know if you can answer this. On our plat map, it shows that Diane Warner and others are owners, but the application is made in a Wallace name. Is this co-ownership within the family? Diane? Yes.
Do you want to come up and come on up? And you'll see in your application, we did get an email that was signed by the other co-owners, so consenting to this. So,
Yeah, the
introduce
owners
your
are,
name, please.
my name is Diane Warner. The owners to this land is Philip and Sharon Wallace, and me and my husband, Joe and Diane Warner. We are joint owners. So there are the two owners, and we are agreeing upon selling this plot together.
Okay.
Philip and, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Philip and Sharon
Okay.
Wallace,
Okay, thank you.
and then Joe and Diane Warner.
So you're the sellers of the property. You're
I'm
the
I'm
people
half
that
of
are
the
buying
sellers, yep.
Are not mentioned here. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Any more questions?
So that's all that's being sold for right now, is that 20 acres?
Just the 20 acres, yes. And they've not, speaking with Mr. Wallace and also with Mr. Schwab, I've not heard of any other plans to do anything with the rest of that parcel.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any other discussion or any questions?
Commissioner Dressler on the phone.
Yes,
I just had one comment.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay.
go ahead.
I just wanted to make a comment about the process. I guess I'm not sure if there's any relevancy on the water issue, just because whether or not they get water there is kind of a permitting issue with Southwest and with the county's permitting process. So I think at this point, all we should really be looking at the relevance of is just is it consistent with the development in the area? And Steve's recommendation obviously showed that it was, and so I guess to me the water issue is kind of mute, because that's not really in our scope of approval here. What we're really just concerned about is the zoning portion of it. Am I wrong on that?
You're correct on that, but I just said he had the question here in the public hearing, so I wanted, to get that answer so he was aware of what was going on.
Deneen, and I agree very much with what you're saying, and another thing that we need to take note of is this tract of land is within 2 miles of Highway 22 and very close to the city, probably getting close to the ETZ for the city of Dickinson, so it would be, in my mind, acceptable.
Very consistent. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to clarify, was that it's consistent pattern to the other area, and as long as that's the case, as far as what happens with the water is kind of irrelevant to us as this board goes. That'd be more of an issue for the buyer if they so chose to go with a well or with Southwest Water. I guess that's kind of out of our wheelhouse.
Just one point, Deneen, I think the reason it could be questioned is because if we're going to be changing the zoning to residential, and if for some reason they find out they cannot get rural water and it's a done deal then for them, that they won't proceed with it, then it will revert back to agricultural if nothing happens within a year? Is that correct,
Steve Josephson, County Planner. No, the zoning will stay the same. However, it can just still be used as agricultural land.
Okay.
So there are other things that are permitted there, and the county permits in just about every zoning district agriculture. if you go through the zoning code, agriculture usually appears as the top permitted use for most of our zoning districts, even industrial, so.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay. There's no other questions. I'll look for a motion on this matter.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would move that the Stark County Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of RZ 11-2022 Philip Wallace rezoning petition from ag to rural residential on this piece of property.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second?
Okay, I have a second. Do a roll call vote then. Mr. Freilich,
Aye.
Ms. Arthod,
Aye.
Ms. Larson,
Aye.
Ms. Dressler,
Aye.
Ms. Soboluk,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, motion carries. Okay, this will go before the county commission meeting on September 6th, then for final approval on that. Okay, is there anything else, Mr. Joseph, or you got some about training?
No, that's the only other thing I have in here, and I know I've emailed everyone about this, but just a reminder that the North Dakota Planning Association, Western planners are having it's a planning commissioner training on September the 13th. It is in Bismarck at the Radisson. It would be 2:30 Central Time. If you want to register, I think I sent the link for that, but I don't think they're going to turn anyone away. If you happen to be in Bismarck that day and you want to attend this, I know that Commissioner Franchuk went to one of these, was it about 3 years ago? Something like that, 2-3 years ago.
Right.
So they tend to cover a lot of items in there. So if you can make it, I would strongly recommend that you go. And then, of course, the Western Planner Conference is there too, which is a much broader thing, and there's a registration fee for that. But I would say, hey, this is free, so it's a service that that North Dakota Planning is providing to planning and zoning commissioners and other officials and anyone else who's interested, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
If there's
Thank
nothing
you.
else,
Have a
then-
good Labor Day.
Thank you. You too.
If there's nothing else, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Do you have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Thanks for calling in, so we had a quorum there. Thank you for Suzie and Deneen.